Hey writers, welcome back. This is Mr. Marshall at Stony Lane. Um, I know last time we talked about one way that you can revise your information writing. Today I want to teach you another way that you can revise your information writing, and that's by making it a little bit longer in an easy way. You want to know this easy way? Here's the easy way. You can add something, find a place in your writing where you feel like you have an idea of something else to say, and add something called a partner sentence. Okay? It's really easy. I'll show you. Partner sentences are sentences that start with words like this. They start with words like, for example, right? I bet you some of you already did that, and you might not have even realized that you're adding partner sentences. You can also say, this is important because, and then keep going. This is important because. You could also say, that means, or that must mean, right? And one more kind of partner sentence is the kind that starts with words like, that's just like. So if like that reminds you of something, you can say that's just like blah blah blah, right? So let's go back into my writing about presidents, okay? Because that's the book that I'm working on right now. And last time I showed you this part that's about presidential relatives, and we talked about the Bushes and the Adamses, right? Well, let's go back and see if we can revise this a little bit more. So down here on the bottom, it says Theodore Roosevelt was president from 1901 to 1909. Years later, his fifth cousin Franklin Roosevelt became the president from 1933 to 1945. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to try and revise my writing by adding a partner sentence. Okay, so let's read it again. Theodore Roosevelt was president from 1901 to 1909. Years later, his fifth cousin, Franklin Roosevelt, became the president from 1933 to 1945. Okay, so I think I have more to say. So let me look at my partner sentence starters. So I've got, for example, I can't really say an example about that, right? Because there's no example. That's just a fact, right? This is important because I don't know. I don't know why that's important. It's just neat. So I don't think I can say anything important about that. That means that means that Theodore Roosevelt never even got to see that his cousin became president because he died. He died in 1919. I know that because I'm like this presidential buff or whatever. And so I could say that means Theodore never even knew that Franklin was president because he had died, right? That's just like, that's not like anything because there's no other cousins that were presidents. So I'm gonna say that means, let's see, I'm not gonna write it yet. I'm gonna rehearse it. I'm gonna say it out loud and see if I like it. Theodore Roosevelt was president from 1901 to 1909. Years later, his fifth cousin Franklin Roosevelt became the president from 1933 to 1945. That means Theodore Roosevelt never even knew his cousin was president because he died in 1919. Do you see what I just did? I'm going to add that. I think it sounds better. I'm going to say more by adding that sentence. So it says, that means Theodore, right, never knew Franklin would be president because he died in 1919. So I'm going to read that whole paragraph one more time and see if it sounds better. Theodore Roosevelt was president from 1901 to 1909. Years later, his fifth cousin Franklin Roosevelt became the president from 1933 to 1945. That means Theodore never knew Franklin would be president because he died in 1919. I think I like that better. I made my writing longer and it was more interesting. And the way that I did it was I added a partner sentence that started with that means, right? These are other ways that you could add partner sentences starting with any of these words. So why don't you go back and look at your writing and see if you can revise it by doing that, by adding partner sentences. Or if you're still writing, maybe you can do this while you're writing. It can make your writing so much better. Okay? Thanks a lot. I'll see you next time.